Greetings, my beloveds. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ani Cafe, the Violet Flame Intuitive, back with another one. And this will be a Celtic Cross reading for the collective. This will be for the week of January 19th through the 25th, 2025. I was inspired to pull from the Sacred Sheet Tarot deck for this Celtic Cross reading. It's a beautiful deck by Madeva Padma. I've already pre-shuffled and laid the cards. I have no idea what has been pulled, and we will discover that here together. If you like what you've been hearing and seeing on my channel, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and also leave a comment to let me know if the messages resonate for you. So let's get started. The positions are as follows. Card number 1 is the present. Number 2 is the challenge. Number 3 is what is unseen. Number 4 is a likely direction. Number 5 is a past pattern. Number 6 is the goal. So let's turn over the first card to see what is the issue. The issue is transitioning. Look at that card. What a beautiful card. You have an infinity symbol with a baby on top and a skull on the bottom. And it has the Roman numeral 13 and the word transitioning. This is similar to the death card in the traditional tarot deck. Wow. So we are transitioning. We are transitioning to a new earth. We are transitioning to a new reality. We are transitioning to a new way of life. It is so obvious. We have a lot of technological changes that are happening with vehicles, with the internet. Many of us are awakening to new belief systems. Many of us are experiencing personal transformations within our own lives. We are not who we once were. We have changed. When we look back 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we are no longer who we once were. Some of us are unrecognizable. We came here as a species to evolve and to grow. And that is what we are doing. Some are doing it at a faster pace than others, but transitioning nonetheless is the game here. People, we are born like this baby on this card. The body ages and perishes in the 3D realm at the end of this experience. Death is an illusion, I might add. While the body may perish, the soul lives on to experience other realities. At least that is what my belief system entails. Some of you may resonate with that. So we are in a period of transition. Also, if you want to look at the tangible things that we can see, touch, feel, and hear, we are undergoing a transition of power in the United States with the office of the presidency. We have the inauguration on January the 20th. There is a transfer of power that will be taking place. We don't yet know how that is going to turn out. Some of us who are parents, we have children that are transitioning from high school to college, from adolescence to adulthood. We are watching them grow and mature right before our very eyes. Some of us are experiencing transitions at work. What is going on in the office? What is going on with the company that you work for? Changes are occurring all around. We are well into the winter season now, so we have just experienced a seasonal transition. So let's pull over card number 2. This is the card that is blocking, protecting, or supporting clarity about our issue. So let's see what it is. Beginning. Wow, I love this reading already. It's a phoenix rising from the ashes with the number 0 that says beginning, with the beautiful sunlight in the background. And it has what looks to be a lotus flower in its mouth. Wow. We are transitioning into a new beginning as a collective. Where are you experiencing new beginnings in your own life? Some people have just given actual birth to a baby or babies. Some people are newly married, new relationships, new jobs. Some people have just moved to new locations. Some people have just lost everything and are starting all over in a forced transition of sorts. Some of us, like I mentioned, have new mindsets. We've changed our minds on what we once believed. We're moving forward with new meaning in the work that we're doing, in the way that we interact with one another, in the people that we surround ourselves with. Our eyes have been opened in a way that we are perceiving things in a new way, new perceptions. I love it. Let's see what the third card has. This is what is unseen. A subconscious or hidden influence impacting the issue. Okay, so what is hidden or subconscious? We have focus. I'm going to turn this card upright here. We're not reading reversals. However, when they come in reverse, I feel like there is more emphasis there. This tells me that something is hidden from our immediate focus. There is something going on, people, that we cannot see. We know it's going on. We know things feel weird. We know something is not right. But it's like a fog. We can't quite see clearly enough to discern what is real, what is not real, what is really going on. Things are a bit out of focus for the collective right now. It is a time of navigating the unknown for many of us. I love this card. It's a woman who is seemingly shape-shifted into an owl. Everyone knows that the most striking thing about an owl is its eyes, emphasizing what we can see. How sharp is our vision right now? We're having to rely on some of our other instincts to feel our way through some of this chaos, if you will. For those of us that are trying to focus on what we are here to create and what we are here to build, there is distraction that pulls us away from personal focus. I'm hearing we are challenged to remain focused on what we individually want to focus on, as opposed to being told or being given choices of things to consume informationally that don't come from within us. So there's this tension between the internal and the external. Those two things may not be jiving right now. They may not be meshing right now. What's going on with you internally versus what's going on around you externally. It can be challenging to bring those two things into balance in these times. So let's turn over card number 4, which is the likely direction. What is our likely direction based on the energies of these 3 cards? Let's see. Cooperation. I love to see it. It is a picture of a sunflower with the hands of children interlocking in a circle. It's the coming together, the unification of the collective around shared values, shared beliefs, shared visions of what we all want for humanity. Don't we all want peace, comfort, provision, good health, strength, love, community. I don't know, some of us want to be left alone. I'm just throwing out some things that we might have in common as a collective, as humankind. We want our earth to be stable. We want our weather to be stable. We want our families to be stable and thriving. We want our children to thrive. We don't want to be in conflict. We don't want to be divided. We want to come together, don't we? This reading says that is the likely direction that we are headed in. Now, I don't know the timeline for that direction, but I'm glad to see this card because there's hope. There's hope for us all here. So let's see what was going on in the past. Card number 5 here reveals a habit or trigger impacting the situation, a root cause, if you will. Departure. Have we gotten away from the things that matter at the very core of our being? This makes me think about my grandmother, all of my grandparents, and how they told stories about how good times used to be when they were more in tune with nature. There were no televisions, cell phones, and people sat around the table and had conversations and visited with one another. The communities all looked out for the children. I remember spending hours playing at the park with no cell phone device until sundown. And my parents expected us to be outside playing with our friends, having fun. My generation definitely enjoyed a very robust sense of community in that sense because of the way we were raised. We were walking to school in the first, second, and third grades. There was not this sense of fear that sort of reigns on our parades these days. There were no school shootings. That wasn't a thing. This departure makes me feel like we have teetered over into fear and fear-mongering when we once lived life more freely, with more trust. This card has an old tree that is broken with a bluebird on top holding a maple leaf in its mouth. I wanted to look up what is the spiritual significance of a maple leaf. Seeing a maple leaf can encourage mindfulness, self-reflection, and a deeper appreciation of life's cycles. It's often a gentle reminder to trust in the journey, embrace transformation, and share your gifts with the world. This card is serving as a reminder, calling us back to our roots. We've strayed too far, or we've been led astray, if you will. So let's go to card number 6, which is the goal. And this is the card that signifies what we are striving for at the end of the day. Union. How about that? I mean, I love when I get a confirmation within the reading itself. We've already discussed this. This is the goal, to come back in union with one another. Unification, community, cooperation. No more of this division, polarity. We need the contrast to show us dark from light, good from evil. But what we don't need is to continue to judge one another when we don't resonate. It is not for us to judge. Our tools are compassion, love, acceptance. This is how we unify, when we drop into the heart and come from the heart center. This is a beautiful card of a male and female couple facing one another, eye to eye. This is the balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine that I preach so very much on this channel because it keeps coming out for me through these card readings. We have a little heart here at the center. This is the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. We need both. We need the qualities of both to come into balance as a human collective. Here is what can happen when the divine masculine is out of balance. Overdominance, control, aggression and emotional suppression, rigidity, lack of empathy. Here is what can happen when the divine feminine is out of balance. Overdependence, passivity, emotional overwhelm or lack of boundaries, disconnection from self-worth, or over-sacrificing for others. When we bring the divine masculine and the divine feminine into balance, this is what we get: harmony. Masculine action complements feminine intuition, leading to purposeful and guided decisions. We get wholeness. Strength and nurturing coexist, promoting confidence, love, and inner peace. We have alignment. Balanced energy fosters creativity and leadership, collaboration, and fulfillment in relationships and life. We have flow and structure. Masculine structure supports feminine creativity, creating both productivity and joy. I'm glad to see this number 2 union card come out for the goal because I resonate with that wholeheartedly. Ashe. So let's go to card number 7 here. This is the card of advice. This is the card that's going to give us guidance regarding our present attitude to the issue of being in a transition. Self-expression, that's the creativity card. Be who you are. Express yourself without reservation, without fear of judgment. Live your life. You came here to evolve and mature and grow, to understand who you are in spirit and in truth. I would be remiss if I didn't wake up and decide that I want to live my life for me, not for who others or society thinks I should be, not to follow along with the herd, but to express my individuality. This card, which has an 11, and it is a woman who is flowing freely here on a beautiful canvas, reminding us that the answers and the guidance that we seek are within. Dare to express who you truly are. The more each of us can be and live authentically, the faster we all come into cooperation and union with a better focus. I'm looking at that focus card again and I'm thinking, perhaps things have been out of focus because we are not living authentically. It's easier to see and to understand what is going on when the energy is authentic. The images that we are shown or consume outside of ourselves are not authentic to who we are on the inside. So when we strive to align with what we see or perceive externally, it creates a lot of confusion on the inside. What does the heart say? Follow your heart with courage. Be unapologetically you. I believe this is beautiful advice at the root of how we eventually come together. So let's look at card number 8. What's beyond our control? What are the external influences that are a part of the bigger picture that we don't control? Crisis, and it's in the reverse, so emphasis on crisis. Yeah, shit happens, my people. This looks like a teacup with liquid inside, with a thunderstorm and lightning coming down to disrupt the waters which are overflowing. Wow. So this is what can happen. So what we see outside of ourselves is an indication of what's going on within ourselves. So we are creating our reality. So if a lot of us are experiencing an uneasiness, confusion, tension, frustration within, collectively, that's going to be mirrored back to us in the form of crisis. I think little by little, humanity is waking up to the idea that we are creating these things that are going on around us to teach us and to show us and to wake us up to the fact that we can change our reality. We are powerful beings. We have been led to believe we don't have personal power. We have technology embedded within our avatars that we can use as powerful manifestors. We are manifesting a lot of chaos right now. And it's a beautiful thing because it is showing us where we need to heal, how we need to heal. What we are currently expressing is showing up as earthquakes and tsunamis and fires and abnormal weather patterns. We have to take accountability for these things. It can feel like someone else or something else is doing it to us. We're doing it to ourselves. This is what I'm hearing. Now, I will point out that I pulled this card in the position of what is beyond our control. So that is ironic because I just told you that these things are within our control. However, some things have already been set into motion that are playing out now. Manifestation is not always instant. Things can bubble up and gain momentum and over time show up as crises. So I would say that the thing that is out of our control is how the lesson shows up for us. If there is confusion and chaos and frustration inside, it can show up in many different ways externally. We don't always control how things show up for us. But the intent of the crisis is to teach us and to show us what needs to be healed. So we don't get to dictate the details around the lesson, but we will get the lesson. And it's up to us to integrate the lesson for collective growth and evolution on this planet. What a beautiful reading so far. Moving on to card number 9. This is the card about our hopes and fears. It's about expectations and doubts regarding the issue. And as a reminder, the issue is about this transition. So let's see what we have. Hopes and fears. Came out in the reverse. Perseverance. I heard, how much longer are we going to have to deal with all of this chaos and shenanigans and what have you? This is card number 5, Perseverance, with a little red bird sitting in a tree in the middle of winter, covered in snow. I used to live in a state where we got a lot of snow. They did not close school down when it was negative 12 degrees outside. It was a state where they were accustomed to harsh winters and knew how to handle it. And I remember I took my daughter to the bus stop. I drove her to the bus stop and we're sitting there, negative 12 degrees. There had to be about 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground. They plowed all the streets because they're accustomed to it. And a red cardinal came into the tree and was frolicking around in the tree unbothered. And we had only been living in this town for less than a year. So I had never seen this sight. And I said to myself, wow, the bird is completely unbothered. It is freezing. Certain species have an innate ability to persevere in harsh conditions. Guess what, my good people? So do we. We have the inner technology to persevere in harsh conditions. The human race is undefeated. We have only to dig deep and to decide that we're going to get through this. I heard come hell or high water. Now, I don't know what's going on with this water right here in this card. I've been kind of feeling like there's going to be something going on with the rising of the waters. I've had several dreams about rising waters. And things could get worse before they get better. This is how we heal. Stuff has got to come up. But we've got to be confident as a collective to know that we have what we need to get through whatever comes our way. So we hope we can persevere, yet we fear we cannot. What do you believe? That is what your reality will reflect in your personal life. So let's look at the conclusion card here. Card number 10. This is the overview of the inner and outer circumstances taken as a whole. Let's see what we have. Integrity in the reverse, so with emphasis. Integrity, okay? Now we've already addressed this. I talked about from the very beginning of the reading, I talked about living authentically. We are in the process as a human collective of returning, because we have departed, returning back to integrity, authenticity. We're peeling off the layers, false perceptions, false beliefs. Deception is crumbling. Lies are being revealed, both individually and as a collective. We are returning to integrity. It is not a sexy process. I love this card. It has a lion standing above the man with his daughter, an image of strength, of perseverance. And how you deal with crisis, guiding the young people, the generations that come next. Part of our role as humans is to bring the next generation along. There's a dog barking outside. This also brings us back to what I said about the divine masculine coming into balance with the divine feminine. Shout out to all of the fathers raising daughters. Shout out to the girl dads, remembering Kobe Bryant and Gigi. It's interesting that they come to mind because they passed away around this very same time in 2020. So here we are 5 years later. Their bond and legacy remain deeply impactful. They symbolize the power of family, an inspirational story that continues to inspire people to pursue their passions, value loved ones, and approach life with determination, like the lion here, and heart. So let me summarize here what we have. The issue is we are transitioning as a collective. We are at the point of a new beginning, rising from the ashes. It's not always going to feel pretty. Things for us have been confusing or hidden or out of focus. As a collective, we're headed towards a direction of cooperation. We have departed from our values and authentic living, being, authenticity. The goal is to come into union with one another. The guidance is to express ourselves individually and authentically. We will experience or perceive crises in our external environments, but we must know that it is a reflection of what needs to come up to be healed individually and in the collective. We can and we will persevere no matter what comes our way. We have what we need to get through anything, and humanity will return to a state of integrity where we are accountable for our beliefs and actions, as within, so without, and we are aware of that. As we ascend and awaken in balance as a divine feminine and divine masculine collective, and in cooperation with this planet called Earth that is supporting our evolution as a species. I am so glad to see that there is hope and that Spirit wants us to be hopeful and believe in ourselves, that we don't have to be told, because we are powerful manifestors of reality. And we came here to create and to express who we are in spirit and in truth. I wish you peace for the journey. Have a blissful week, and I love you. Ashe.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let me know how these messages are resonating for you in the comment section. If you would like a personal reading, never hesitate to email me at violetflameconsults@gmail.com. I'll be happy to accommodate your needs as well as your budget. Thanks again for stopping by.